Who exactly is the stranger in Amazon's The Rings of Power? From the moment he scorched the skies and crashed into Middle-earth, this mysterious figure sparked a wildfire of theories. Could he be Gandalf, deeply tied to the Hobbit's fate, or one of the elusive blue wizards whose tales are lost in the East? Clues swirl around him, his bond with the Harfoots, his elemental powers, and the ancient echoes in his speech. Do these hints lead us to a familiar figure, or somebody entirely new? Venture with us today as we sift through the lore, chase down the myths, and peel back the veils of mystery to reveal a startling truth that could turn every assumption on its head. Number 1. Gandalf. The first possibility on our list has sparked considerable debate among fans. The fiery descent of the stranger in the Rings of Power has really set tongues a-wagging about his identity. Among the many swirling theories, one stands out. Could this mysterious figure be Gandalf? To seriously consider this, we have to put aside for a moment the widely accepted lore that the five Istari arrived by boat at the Grey Havens in the Third Age. The stranger's quick bond with the Harfoots, ancestors to the beloved hobbits of the Shire, strongly mirrors Gandalf's cherished connections with hobbits like Bilbo and Frodo Baggins. His nurturing guidance and protective wisdom align perfectly with what we know and love about Gandalf from Tolkien's series, suggesting a strong connection to the Great Pilgrim. Moreover, the stranger's knack for manipulating the elements, especially his affinity for fire, brings to mind Gandalf's own powers, like his command of Narya, the Ring of Fire. One of the most telling moments is the stranger's visible remorse after accidentally causing the death of the fireflies. This deep sense of empathy is a characteristic that Gandalf would have cultivated under the tutelage of Nienna, the Vala associated with mourning and compassion. Nienna's teachings were all about understanding and sharing in the suffering of others, which profoundly shaped his approach to his mission in Middle-earth. This emphatic reaction hints at a deeper connection to Gandalf's original nature as Aloran, the Maiar who was known for his great wisdom and his compassion. The stranger's advice to Nori Brandyfoot, "When in doubt, always follow your nose," mirrors exactly what Gandalf later tells Merry in the Mines of Moria. This could actually be a clever little hint about the stranger's true identity, or maybe it's just a red herring thrown in to keep us all guessing. The spectacular way the stranger shows up might also symbolize Gandalf's transformation from Aloran, his identity before taking mortal form in Middle-earth, into the Gandalf the Grey that we all know and love. This dramatic entrance could be more than just a flashy arrival. It might symbolize a whole new beginning for him, setting up his eventual comeback as Gandalf the White, armed and ready to take on the dark forces gathering strength. Seeing the stranger as a potential early version of Gandalf does add an intriguing twist to the Rings of Power, encouraging us to view this familiar wizard in a new light. This angle underscores Gandalf's timeless qualities of compassion, wisdom, and magical prowess, while also highlighting his significant role in Middle-earth long before the epic drama of the War of the Ring unfold. This fresh approach enriches the lore and gives us a new perspective on Gandalf's profound influence throughout Middle-earth's history. Number 2. Radagast the Brown. So second on our list, the possibility that the stranger could be Radagast the Brown presents a fascinating angle, particularly through his renowned connection to the natural world. Radagast's devotion is primarily due to the flora and fauna of Middle-earth, often prioritizing the well-being of creatures and plants over the political intrigues of the realm. His ability to communicate intuitively with animals and his distress when nature is harmed are traits that strongly resonate with the stranger's actions in the series. Radagast is also celebrated for his healing abilities, particularly regarding the natural world, which align with the stranger's efforts to heal and restore. When the stranger inadvertently causes harm, he tries to mend these effects through nurturing gestures, echoing Radagast's own healing endeavors. Moreover, Radagast's somewhat eccentric but deeply insightful nature may find a reflection in the stranger's behavior. Known for his somewhat scattered but wise persona, Radagast's unique approach to his duties in Middle-earth often sets him apart from his fellow wizards. The stranger's puzzling but wise demeanor could suggest an early depiction of Radagast's character, exploring new aspects of his role that were only hinted at in Tolkien's original writings. This exploration into Radagast's potential identity as the stranger offers a fresh perspective on how the quiet influence of a character, often perceived as peripheral, can have a profound impact, especially through environmental stewardship. However, when compared with the evidence suggesting the stranger might be Gandalf, Radagast's candidacy appears a little less likely. Gandalf's deep connections with key historical figures and events, combined with the significant manner of the stranger's entrance and appearance, align more closely with the characteristics and thematic weight traditionally attributed to Gandalf. Number 3. One of the Blue Wizards. So third on our list, building on the intriguing theories about Gandalf and Radagast, we now explore another compelling possibility. The stranger might be one of the Blue Wizards, Alatar or Palando. Now, this theory engages with some of the most obscure yet captivating aspects of Tolkien's mythology, given that Tolkien provided only scant details about these characters. His various writings, particularly in Unfinished Tales and The People of Middle-earth, suggest multiple versions of when and how the Istari arrived in Middle-earth. Notably, only the Blue Wizards, along with Saruman in some accounts, were specifically mentioned to have arrived in the Second Age. This distinct timing aligns perfectly with the events depicted in the Rings of Power, making it plausible that the stranger's mysterious actions could indeed be those of one of these lesser-known Istari. Their primary mission was to counteract Sauron's influence over the Men of the East, according to Tolkien. Now, this context provides a compelling backdrop for the stranger's storyline, suggesting that his disorientation and secretive behavior might stem from a centuries-long mission involving deep cover or magical concealment. His journey to Rhûn, the land of the East where Sauron's influence was strongest, fits the profile of the Blue Wizards, who were said to venture far into these distant lands, working to stir resistance and weaken the Dark Lord's grip of the region. Moreover, the stranger's demonstrated abilities, such as manipulating the elements in his dramatic entrance, fit the profile of a powerful wizard engaged in a critical battle against dark forces. His use of arcane rituals and ancient symbols could reflect a deep engagement with the cultures and magical practices of the East, aligning with Tolkien's vision for the Blue Wizards. Venturing into the possibility that the stranger is one of the Blue Wizards thrusts us into the shadowy corners of Middle-earth's lore, realms seldom traversed in Tolkien's narrative. This bold choice doesn't merely align with the established facts of Tolkien's universe, it breathes life into the series, pulling audiences deeper into the swirling mist of the Second Age's complex and turbulent history. Number 4. An Unnamed Wizard. So next on our list, diving into the mysteries that swirl around the stranger, the idea that he might be one of the Blue Wizards certainly opens some intriguing doors into Tolkien's lesser-trodden paths. However, an even more captivating and underrepresented theory is brewing. Could the stranger be an entirely unnamed Istari, one not detailed in Tolkien's primary texts? This speculation draws from Unfinished Tales, where Tolkien hints that the 5 known wizards might not be the only Istari sent to Middle-earth. In Unfinished Tales, it's noted that the Blue Wizards, along with Saruman, arrive in the Second Age. Yet Tolkien also leaves us with a tantalizing hint of ambiguity about the total number of Istari. This opens the possibility that other unnamed wizards might have been dispatched on secret missions, potentially to the Southlands, precisely where the stranger appears in the series. This geographical detail, his landing far away from the familiar territories of the North, supports the idea that he could be one of these mysterious figures. The stranger's arrival in the Southlands, away from the well-trodden paths of Gandalf, Saruman, Radagast, and the known Blue Wizards, suggests that he's on a unique mission, possibly tasked with influencing events in areas more heavily under the shadow of darker powers. His enigmatic magic and profound demeanor fit the profile of a wizard working from the shadows to steer the course of history. This theory not only adds layers to the enigma of the stranger, but also broadens the narrative canvas of the Rings of Power. Introducing the notion of an unknown Istari allows the series to venture into uncharted storylines and conflicts, expanding upon Tolkien's established world while staying true to the thematic essence of Middle-earth. This approach not only honors Tolkien's love for intricate storytelling, but also enriches the saga for both longtime fans and new viewers, offering fresh lore and deeper insights into the epic's unfolding drama. Number 5. Another Maiar. So, the fifth possibility on our list raises an intriguing question. What if the stranger isn't an Istari at all, but rather another Maiar entirely? Now, this would mean that the runic mystics, who, after learning that he was not Sauron, referred to him as an Istari, were either mistaken or deliberately misled, a red herring meant to divert both characters and viewers alike from his true nature. Tolkien's legendarium is filled with Maiar, spirits of immense power, many of whom remain unnamed and their stories untold. While the 5 Istari are the most famous of these, other Maiar played significant, though often behind-the-scenes roles in the unfolding drama of Middle-earth. The Maiar served many roles in the history of Tolkien's creation, from servants of the Valar to fallen creatures dragged into Morgoth's clutches. The stranger's extraordinary abilities and mysterious demeanor could suggest that he is one of these lesser-known or even entirely original Maiar sent to Middle-earth for reasons yet to be revealed. The stranger's control over natural elements, his cryptic wisdom, and his profound connection to the land all align with the qualities of the Maiar, who often possess deep ties to the natural world and its forces. Perhaps he was sent by one of the Valar on a special mission, separate from the Istaris, to counter a threat to restore balance in the Second Age. His fiery arrival in the Southlands, rather than in the more familiar regions of Middle-earth, could indicate a purpose rooted in this specific area, an area perhaps overlooked by the other wizards. This theory offers a fresh angle, suggesting that the stranger's true role might be more complex and less defined by the traditional boundaries set by the Istari. His presence could represent a broader intervention by the divine forces of Arda, one that operates outside the established framework of the wizards that we know. Considering the stranger as another Maiar expands the possibilities for the Rings of Power, adding layers of mystery and depth to his character. It invites viewers to think beyond the familiar faces and roles, challenging us to explore new aspects of Tolkien's vast world. This interpretation could lead to unexpected revelations as the story unfolds, deepening our understanding of the forces at play in Middle-earth during the Second Age and adding yet another twist to the ongoing saga. Number 6. The Man in the Moon. Finally, as a playful nod to the early days of speculation, let's revisit one of the most whimsical theories that captured the imagination of fans before the mystics hinted at the stranger's likely identity as an Istari. This theory proposed that the stranger might be none other than the Man in the Moon, who, as the old Shire song goes, came down too soon. This idea took root when viewers saw the stranger fall from the sky in a blazing comet, his arrival shrouded in mystery and magic. It's easy to see why some fans' minds wandered to the tales sung by Bilbo in the Fellowship of the Ring. In that song, the Man in the Moon came down to Middle-earth only to find himself out of place and quite bewildered by the world that he encountered. The stranger's disoriented state, odd behavior, and apparent struggle to remember his purpose seemed to align with this quirky character's misadventures. The theory was pure fun, imagining the stranger as a celestial wanderer who simply took a wrong turn and ended up on Middle-earth far earlier than intended. Perhaps he was supposed to arrive in a different age entirely or on a different adventure, only to find himself in the thick of the Second Age's brewing conflicts. Though this idea has since been overshadowed by more grounded theories, especially after the mystics hinted at the stranger's true nature as an Istari, it's really worth tipping our hats to this early guess. After all, Middle-earth is a place where even the most fantastical stories told a kernel of truth. And who's to say that the Man in the Moon didn't play some small, forgotten role in its vast and bountiful history? In the end, while the stranger is more likely a wizard than a lunar traveler, the sheer creativity of this theory reflects the joy of exploring Tolkien's world, a place where myths, songs, and legends blend seamlessly with the epic tales of heroism and magic. So here's to the Man in the Moon, who may not be the stranger, but who certainly made for a delightful little detour on our journey to uncovering the stranger's true identity. As the Rings of Power unfolds, the mystery of the stranger keeps us all guessing. With Season 2 approaching and showrunners promising to reveal his true identity soon, the excitement is building. Whether he's Gandalf, a blue wizard, an unknown Istari, or even a nod to the Man in the Moon, each theory adds to the intrigue of Tolkien's world. So, who do you think he is? Make sure you let me know in the comments section down below. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next episode.